year's Labor of Love Gala is indeed a special one. Team Jamaica Bickle is 31 years young, and this is our 4th Labor of Love Gala. That means next year is number 5. That's going to be a special number. But it seems like we've been doing this a lot longer, doesn't it? This afternoon, it is my distinct honor and pleasure to introduce to some and reintroduce to others Mrs. Sandra Brunson. She is the co-founder and chief financial officer of the Second Round Foundation, a role that reflects her passion for creating meaningful change in under-resourced communities. Alongside her son, Jalen Brunson, everybody knows him, point guard for the New York Knicks, Sandra helped establish the foundation to advance their shared commitment to helping others, especially young people seeking equitable opportunities. A former athlete herself, Mrs. Brunson has enjoyed over 30 years in litigation support, project management, and strategic partnerships. In addition to her role with the foundation, Sandra serves as president of JMB1 Enterprises, LLC, overseeing business operations and cultivating strategic partnerships. Family is at the heart of everything Sandra does. Her husband, Rick Brunson, is an assistant coach for the New York Knicks, while her son Jalen and daughter Erica continue to make their marks. Jalen as an NBA star and Erica as a client service manager at Creative Artists Agency, CAA. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together as we welcome our 31st anniversary Labor of Love Gala keynote speaker, Mrs. Sandra Brunson.
I'd just like to take a moment to just peruse the room, because this is a very special, special time for me and my family. And it is a blessing to be here with all of you and to share in my Jamaican roots. I can't believe it's taken over 50 years for me to be inside a room with such beautiful people who love their country, the spirit of good food and gathering and commemoration. And again, thank you for having me here. Watching that video, I gotta tell you, just brings it all back to reality, and I'm very thankful. Again, good afternoon, everyone. Mr. Clear, which I've lost sight of. Okay, thank you. Mr. Clear, Chairwoman Wilson Robinson, Mr. Stokes, other esteemed guests, friends and family. It's truly an honor to stand here before you today as we come together for this incredible gathering, hosted by Team Jamaica Bickle and for Team Jamaica Bickle, an organization whose mission is deeply personal to so many of us. An organization that understands what it means to show up for young people, not just in words, but in action. As I look around the room, I feel a deep sense of pride, not just in where I am, but in where I come from. As the daughter of Jamaican parents, is one of the greatest sources of pride in my life. It's a heritage. It's a heritage rooted in strength, resilience, and an unshakable sense of identity. Over the years, I've come to understand that being Jamaican isn't just about where your family comes from. It's a rhythm you carry in your soul. It's the boldness to speak up, the creativity to make something out of nothing, and the confidence to walk through the world knowing you come from greatness. I could have used all of you at a couple of events that I've spoken at. Remind me to send a memo the next time so that we can have a whole Team Jamaica Bickle contingent. And when given the opportunity, Jamaicans will proudly big up and claim one of their own. My story, like many of yours, begins with a journey rooted in sacrifice. I'm the child of immigrant parents, Sankey and Judith Davis. They came to this country with little more than their faith, their values, and their dreams. I know their journey wasn't easy. Their brave decision to leave their island home in search of a better life, not for themselves alone, but for generations that would follow. Through it all, they made it with grace, with pride, and with the unwavering belief that their children could go and would go further than they ever could. Oh, yeah. That's my cousin Olga. I know that. My mom's first cousin. Excuse me. Through it all, lucky for me, the lone Yankee in the family, they carried the spirit of Jamaica with them, its music, its food, its language, and its culture, and poured it into my childhood home. Here's a fun fact. My parents weren't athletes, and they didn't share in my siblings and my passion for sports. But let me rephrase that. Jalen Brunson's grandparents were not athletes. As my mother would tell you, she doesn't even know how to ride a bike. In fact, back in their day, things like competition and athletics weren't the focus. Survival was. Building a better life, laying a foundation, that was their goal. But here's the beautiful thing. Even without that shared interest, my parents gave me and my siblings the most powerful gift they could, permission to dream. They let us explore our passions, chase opportunity, and grow in our full selves. And that to me is the purest form of love. That's what we call a labor of love. And when I was so graciously asked to speak here today, I took it upon myself to take that LOL, that labor of love, and try to incorporate it into this speech. So I had to take a look at it and actually look it up to truly understand what all this encompasses. And what I found was a labor of love is something you do, not for money, recognition, or obligation, but because you're passionate about it. It brings you joy, fulfillment, or a sense of purpose, even if it's hard work. So when someone asks, what is your labor of love? They're really asking, what do you put your heart into? Because it matters deeply to you. It could be anything, raising your kids, mentoring youth, creating art, running a nonprofit, or even gardening. It's about what drives you from the inside. And for my parents, it was creating a better life for me and my siblings. The support led me to a volleyball scholarship, something I couldn't have imagined without their sacrifices. I remember as a junior in high school, I tried out for this elite volleyball travel team. And when I made the team, my parents were told there was a fee for me to participate, and that fee was $1,000. Now this was in 1988. And you can imagine $1,000 went a long way back then. The pit of my stomach dropped when I heard the cost. And the head of the volleyball organization pulled my parents aside and told them, and I quote, "If you invest this into your daughter, it's an investment in her future." And it would pay for college. And sure enough, it did. That's all they needed to hear. And from that moment on, I stepped onto that court, not just with my own ambition, but with the strength of their story behind me. Believing wholeheartedly that love doesn't always look like shared hobbies or spoken words. Sometimes love is believing in someone else's dreams, even when they're different from your own. Understanding that sacrifice is an act of love, and every step forward is a part of a dream made real. As a parent, I try to give my children what my parents gave me, not just encouragement, but belief. The kind that not only comes with cheering from the sidelines, but shows up in other ways, like sacrifices made, opportunities created, and values passed down. That's what Team Jamaica Bickle embodies. You don't just support athletes, you nurture them. You feed them, you house them, you protect them. And you remind them that they're not alone. It's that kind of love, that kind of consistent behind the scenes labor that changes lives. Mr. Clear, who knew that in 2016, when my father called you, filled with his great Jamaican pride, to share how proud he was of Jalen, his Jamaican grandson, and his Villanova teammates when they won the national championship. That was less than 10 years ago. And who would have thought we would be united in support of such a worthy cause today? This is truly a full circle moment for Jalen and our family. Over the past few years, the Second Round Foundation has been proud to support its Team Jamaica Bickle, not only to pay homage to our Jamaican roots, but because we believe in meeting young people where they are. Not just on the court or on the track, but in spaces in between. The meals, lodging, and the medical support, these are the quiet, powerful moments that allow talent to thrive. Our foundation was born from the idea that success doesn't always look like a first-round pick. Sometimes it's the second round, the overlooked, the underestimated, the ones who just need someone to invest in them. That's why we stand with Team Jamaica Bickle, because you see the whole athlete. You honor their whole journey, and that's exactly the kind of impact we strive to make as well. This afternoon, as we gather in celebration of culture, of community, of legacy, I'm reminded that success is never a solo journey. Behind every athlete is a village. Behind every dream is a sacrifice. And behind every moment of triumph is an organization like Team Jamaica Bickle. Making the impossible feel possible for young Caribbean athletes. At the Second Round Foundation, we believe that greatness isn't defined by where you start. It's what you do with the opportunity when it comes. A perfect example of that is the journey of our very own Jalen Brunson. And although I'm sure his grandparents would say they would add a bowl of cornmeal porridge and green banana too. But in all seriousness, Team Jamaica Bickle has been creating opportunity for decades, feeding, caring, and showing up in ways that reminds young athletes that they matter. It's more than just a gesture, it's a movement, a labor of love. And we're proud to stand by you in this work. So I ask you all to remember today, as we are standing here at the intersection of heritage, empowerment, and generosity. The question isn't how much can we give, but how much can we change? I implore you to think about your own labor of love and what it looks like and what it feels like. How does your labor of love translate to the next generation? Thank you for having me, for allowing me to share my story, and for continuing to uplift the next generation of leaders.